I do have one, actually a couple ones. I got a Microsoft update notice for my PC. So I went ahead and I did I click and I did the update and everything. And now they send me a note saying the terms are going to be changing as of October 1st and blah, blah, blah. So I don't want to read the terms that are like several pages and everything, but I was wondering if it's something that I should be concerned about, or it's just, if you know anything about that.
I haven't heard a lot of details about the newest thing with the terms and conditions with Microsoft. My guess is they haven't changed all that much.
Okay.
I can do some research if you like to see what, like the bullet point highlights of that.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, no rush, but probably you can understand better whatever they change.
So it's Microsoft's
for
terms and agreements.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they say that they're going to be changing the updates out of October 1st. So, because what it scared me is because it says, if you don't agree with the terms, you can cancel Microsoft account. And I don't know why they say that, but
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Kind of captive audience.
And people agree because, you can't just give up on like you already bought the computer.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not like you're going to just not agree because you have to, but it's good to at least have a sense of what exactly you are agreeing to.
I know.
Even though you're forced to.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sparks a little question. Thank you for that one. I have Windows 7, so whenever the message comes up that we don't support that, I just say, okay, and I keep on going. The only thing I know that I use that's Microsoft is Outlook, and then if I use their old Office suite of Word and whatever, I'm on Chrome for Explorer, and then I have my Apple iPad and iPhone, but on my Dell is Microsoft. And I haven't gotten any messages yet from Microsoft, but I do get messages from Java and some other things saying there's an update, and I have been ignoring them. I don't know if that's maybe to my deficit, if I would benefit by accepting.
Java updates are good. They will help run software on your computer. I know back when we were at the church and used those kiosks for name tags, we would have to update Java every couple of weeks so that the name tags printers actually spoke with the kiosks. So it is Java as a computer's code has been terminated. They no longer are going to be making websites and software using JavaScript. So in like 5 to 10 years, you probably won't ever need Java again. But right now, while most of the websites still have it running, you do need it running. So keeping it updated is good. So yeah, it's one of those code systems I had to learn in college, and they're like, you're going to be using this for the rest of your life, and here we are, and it's dead. So
wow.
What has replaced it, Lynn?
Honestly, I didn't read that specific. My guess is it's just HTML, different things. It's gotten stronger. Java used to be this like input that HTML would go, okay, we don't have the functionality to do that, so we're going to input a JavaScript here, which probably means, no, I'm probably talking above your heads at this point.
No, I understand.
Okay.
What you're saying.
It kind of went, we need something to do this for us, so we're going to steal Java. And I think that HTML finally figured out what they're doing, so they no longer need Java.
Okay.
I think. I'd have to do more research.
I'll ask my son. He's a developer.
He would know. He would know. I don't know enough. I went, oh, that's interesting, but I don't need to know that fact. I won't do the details.
Neither do we.
Yeah.
Another question that I have, Lynn, is there any way, I mean, I have text messages from different people, and sometimes it goes forever and ever and ever. And same thing with WhatsApp. Is there any way to, when I delete them, do they still stay somewhere else, or they just are gone forever?
They are deleted on your phone. You have
Right.
a phone, right? So they get deleted off your phone. But if I, am text messaging with you, you've sent me text and you could delete my text, but I still have them on mine unless I delete them as well. So both parties have to delete.
Oh, so even if they showed up that they are deleted on my end because I deleted, but you still will have them unless you delete them too.
Yeah.
And if you delete them too, because when they answer me, if I had deleted them all, they answer me, it only shows that new one. It doesn't show all the other long list of messages and WhatsApp or whatever. So
WhatsApp versus the iMessage app. So you're using WhatsApp?
I'm using WhatsApp on one side, and then I'm also using the text.
Okay. I haven't used WhatsApp probably in 5 years. So
Why? Not good?
Well, I haven't needed to. The last time I used it, it's mostly for, it was first created for people who lived in other countries to communicate with us. So when my brother studied abroad in England, that's how we texted him to get away with paying cell phone internet bills. And that was the only time I really used it, was when I knew people studying abroad in places that used it. And then when they came back, we went back to regular text messages.
Okay.
My guess is with WhatsApp, but if you delete it, it deletes it for everyone.
Okay.
Because it's a cloud-based program. I don't know WhatsApp well enough. I could do some research. But that's my guess versus a text message through the Messengers app on your phone, which would just delete it on your end.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Maybe. But I'll look into WhatsApp. I know a lot of people that use it with their family groups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I have some family in Canada, so maybe that's why we still communicate that way. And then the girls here also, everybody jumps into that. But yeah, okay. Yeah. Thank you, Lynn.
It really depends on your circle of people you're talking to, too.
Right.
If your circle's not in it, you don't talk about it. But yeah, Chuck.
Lynn, can I ask the group a question?
Yeah.
The 9 of us?
Yeah.
How many of you have decided to use password managers? Anyone?
I have.
Not yet.
For years, I've used one.
What are you using?
It's called Splash ID.
Splash ID. Okay.
It's an older one, but it's one that you can either do cloud-based or keep on your computer.
Okay. Anyone else?
I use LastPass.
Okay. I think that's what Dan uses also. Okay. Thank you.
Do you like it, Bill?
What?
I've had it 2 or 3 years. I like it for the most part. I wish it worked on all my devices, but I probably would have to go up to the premium level or something like that, and I've just never done that yet. But yeah, I'm quite happy with it.
Good.
And what's that one called?
Pardon?
What is the name of that one?
LastPass.
Okay.
But the
Thank you.
one you told us about sounds good too. I forgot what that was. One.
1Password, and Chuck's been having trouble with that,
Oh,
but
really?
I
Oh,
know of 2 or 3 others from the group that aren't on the call today who have switched to 1Password, and it seems to be working.
Oh, okay.
It does seem to be working for them.
For them, yeah, you're just the lucky winner.
I had trouble getting it installed, and now I'm having trouble getting it to work. So it's very frustrating at this point in time.
Oh,
That's a shame. It shouldn't be that difficult.
And I'm fairly techie. I can't figure it out, you know.
Good morning.
good morning.
Good morning.
Can I enter in? I'm marginally techie, so I gotta decide what to do. Do you think I should make a move as far as passwords? And if so, which are the ones you talked about?
If you want to make the move, Dan, and go digital, I know you aren't very comfortable with tech, so maybe you prefer the note cards and papers.
Well, I don't want it to sound that pedestrian. It's not that I'm not totally uncomfortable with, but you talk about when you get into problems like that, and I want something that's fairly straightforward. What's the one that caused the least problems?
I think it depends on various factors. There's not one like clear, this is easy, go for this. They all have their little flukes, you know. It's just a little bit different for all of them.
So there's no answer.
No, it's just,
Why isn't life simpler?
it's like going to the grocery store and there's like 40 options of the same, you know, brand. Yeah, Phil.
I have a couple of questions. I don't know how many people it pertains to about pages on the Apple system for writing letters and sending documents and so forth. I think you have an Apple product, but they made some changes to it. 2 things. I used to have all the documents I've done in the past. There may have been 100 or more in there. I can't find them anymore since they've done an update. Only the more recent ones, and they're not kept in pages. I have to go over to documents or somewhere to find them. Then yesterday when I made a letter, I was trying to send it out to my 3 or 4 family and friends. When they got it, they couldn't open it. Are you familiar with any problems with regard to pages and sending those documents?
I use Pages, and I know they did an update recently. So maybe that's what you're talking about as well. You got that?
It might be, because until recently I could go in and find every document that I've ever done right there in the Pages app. Whether it's still there and I can't find it or they've deleted it, I can't imagine they would delete everybody's documents.
No.
Who knows?
My guess is Pages had all your recent documents up for you to see, and when they did the update, it cleared that out. So you have to reopen all those documents for it to remember it. But do you want to screen share your computer? Do folks want to?
I don't know how to do that.
Mind seeing his computer?
I don't know how to do it, but if you could.
But I was
tell me.
thinking too, he ought to be able to go into preferences and determine where he wants to save his documents.
Yes. Yes.
And that might solve that problem at least.
Yes.
If he's going to send them to somebody else, the receiver has to have Pages in order to open it. Unless you save it as a PDF document, then they'll be able to open it anyway.
Or a Word.
Oh,
Things going on there. Because I've used Pages too. I mean, I know what that's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, the biggest issue is when you send a Pages document to somebody with Word, because Word can't automatically open it.
Oh, is that what it is?
So yeah, you have to export it as either a Word document or a PDF, as Chuck
Well,
said.
is there something you do or use that avoids that? Can you send them some other way? Like I've tried to just send them in a regular email, you know, or something like that, and but that's the document that doesn't open, you say. Is there another format it can be sent in where they can open it, or do you know?
You can send it as a PDF or a Word doc, but you have to export it from Pages. There's not a program on a Mac computer that will just
I
work
see.
Word
I see.
unless you buy Word and install it on your computer.
Okay, okay.
So it's not hard to send it that way. You can open
Really?
your Pages document, and then you just file, and then instead of setting save, you export it as a PDF or a Word doc.
Oh, is that what you do? You just hit file and export it to something else?
Yes, and then you have 2 copies of it.
Oh. Oh,
So
okay. Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so instead of file save, do file export and then send that document, or
Right.
send both and see which one. works.
Okay, okay. Gotcha.
But yeah,
Word, yeah.
Hi, Lynn.
yeah.
Hi. I'm learning so much from this group, and I just want to smile and say thank you, everyone. I recently started using my iPad, although I've had it for a long time, and I don't use Pages. So I'm thinking if I would little tutorials be like at Apple, I would go to Apple and see what they offer in terms of training, right? Is there another source of training that is like something everyone likes?
Like virtual, since
Well, like whatever would train a beginner. Yeah, they could, where I would get like a YouTube lesson or something like that of how to use Pages. I don't even know if I have to install it. I mean, oh, just pretend I just got my iPad and I went to use Pages. What would be my first step?
it should be pre-installed on your iPad, so you should just push the app and open it.
Okay.
And you can just type or write as if it's a Word document, if you're familiar with Word.
Yes.
But what I tend to do is I just go to YouTube and I go Pages tutorial, and I just start clicking on one until I find one that is somebody that I can actually spend time listening to. And I also look at the time limit. Do I want to spend an hour watching this video, or do I want to spend 15 minutes? And then sometimes the presenter is so boring that I have to switch to a different one.
Right.
But that's what I tend to do when learning new things in general,
Okay.
is Googling it or
And
YouTube.
just thank you so much. And what does the icon look like for Word? I mean, Page.
Well,
It's a piece of paper tilted sideways with a pencil on it.
do you
Okay.
see on my document here? It's this guy right here.
Oh, like a colorful thing tilted in the pen. Yes. Thank you.
And then if you have a PC or if you have a Mac, it opens up this way, and you just hit new document, and then you get different templates and things.
Okay.
Where would your old ones be stored on that, Lynn?
Mine get stored in the documents section of my computer.
Yeah.
So depending on a folder I want to put in my documents. So I don't know where you tend to store all your documents. My guess is it got switched when you did save, it got switched from wherever you're used to saving it to somewhere new.
Well,
As
it used to save right on the Pages app, it saved right in there. Now there seems to be nothing in there. Once you do it, it goes automatically over to my documents. But the older ones, I've got 10 or 12 newer things in there, but the 100 of older ones, I don't even know where they are.
We're going to have to go hunting for that sometime.
Okay.
Maybe we'll schedule time to do that sometime.
Okay, thank you.
So when you save a document in Pages and the little box comes up and it wants you to give a title to the document,
Yes.
right underneath it, there's a bar across with a down arrow on the end of it that will let you change where you want to save it.
Oh, really?
Yours probably right now is saying save it to my documents folder.
Oh.
So you can change
Sounds like
that
him. But you
and
can
save
change
it
it,
anywhere you
not to
want
save
to.
it to my documents. You can save it to.
Okay.
Yeah, you can save it anywhere you want to from there. I frequently just save it to desktop and then drag it to wherever I really want it to go.
Okay.
Oh,
So that's an option for you also, but you should be able to change that to where you want to save it. And
So is there anything anymore right in Pages itself where it can be saved? You can find it all in Pages like I used to, but you're saying you can't do that anymore.
I haven't used Pages since the new update, so I'm not positive, but I'm on the save screen right now looking at it, multitasking as we talk, right? And you can save it anywhere you want to, really, in the save box, just by clicking on what folder you want it to go to, what location, whether you want it on the desktop or or in your documents folder. I would look in your documents folder for your old files.
Phil,
Would that be logical, Lynn?
Yes, it sounded great. You did a fantastic job. One more thing I'll say, when I open Pages, Phil, there's a tab here that says recents.
Right.
And it shows me everything I've done recently. So that would be an easy way I don't use Pages often enough, clearly. I have no recent documents. But it should list all of your most recent documents that you can get back to. So try clicking on that and you should see hopefully some of them. But maybe that's part of the problem.
Thank you.
So instead of putting it
can
here,
you print that document? How do you print that document?
like a regular Word doc or Pages
Like
doc?
if I want to print that, what do I do?
So you go up here to File, and then there's a button here that says print.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you connect it to your printer and hit the print button.
And down in the bottom left corner, Lynn, is the PDF box that you can click on and save it as PDF if you want.
Yes.
Oh,
Save as PDF. I see. Thank you.
Like Lynn said, then you'll have two files. You'll have the Pages file and the PDF.
Oh, good. Good. That's good to know. Thank you.
Yep. Yes, Nancy.
I used to use that one to do a lot of newsletters and flyers and stuff like that because it's relatively simple.
Right.
Is there a way to download my photos from my phone, from my Android phone to my computer, other than syncing them?
So you have a iPhone or an Android?
Android. I mean, like with a cord. I used to, but my old Android phone, that's how I downloaded them. And when I tried to do it, it wasn't an option. I couldn't get them to get, I forget what the problem was, but my granddaughter, of course, told me to just sync it and I could get it. But then when you sync it and you get it in your computer, it's not saved as a JPEG or anything, just whatever. So it's not like you can go then to that. And you also can't go to the photos to take something and insert it. So I was trying to do it just directly from the phone with a cord. Is there a way on Android?
I'm going to have to do some research for an Android phone to
okay, it's not urgent.
I'll throw it in my massive email recap email. Probably drive you guys all crazy. Photos with the cord. Phil or Chuck, did you get onto that thing last time? Good. Finally.
From the last time we met, yes. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Good.
I have a follow-up to Nancy's situation. I have, with great help, successfully changed from an Android phone to an iPhone. And I have the PC, the iPad, and the new iPhone. I have the old Android phone that still has pictures on it, and I want to get them. And I don't know how. It's not connected to anything. They're just saved within that phone. I'm wondering if it's possible for me to access them.
Hopefully when I research to get the photos from Nancy's phone to her computer, it will be the same answer for you.
Okay.
My guess is it's also Google Photos, which syncs with your Google's photos, so you could look on it in the cloud that way. That's what Nancy's granddaughter means about syncing photos.
Yes. I also had a follow-up question to that. I only recently, January, got my Android phone that's really a smartphone that I can use. My other one was a pay-as-you-go type. I mean, it sort of was smart. But I decided that, oh my goodness, I could do all my games on my old phone because it connects to my Wi-Fi. But then I noticed that it's also syncing all my photos that I take on my new phone are now in my old phone. Now, I'm thinking, is there a way to get them off of that without deleting them from everything? And is it necessary? Because are those photos in the cloud? So that's not going to give me any more room for games? So should I try to get them off there? Or I was kind of, I don't know if you can just say disable the Google account, but would that disable all the Google accounts on all my devices?
It would unlink your Google account to that phone. So you no longer would have any of your emails or your photos or anything like that on that phone through Google. Any of the Google stuff you use, like Google Calendars or anything, wouldn't be on that phone.
But actually, I couldn't find a way to do that other than going into the app on the old phone and saying disable. And I didn't know if I wanted to do that or if it'll even do it because it's part of the Android thing.
I'll look up that too. Unlink Google on Android. Okay.
And yeah, and I prefer hearing it from you because I'm afraid I'll do something and then it's gone from all 3 devices, and that's not what I want. So, thank you.
Yeah. The nice thing is it's all cloud-based, so it's really hard to lose things permanently.
Okay. Yeah, I'm starting to like the cloud, kicking and screaming. I'm deciding it's not a bad thing.
I have a few Zoom questions if we have time.
Of course.
So I'm going to be leading a Zoom meeting with my women's club. And so one question, is there a way to capture a list of the participants when you're the host?
Mm-hmm. Ahead of time or like after the fact?
Well, while you're live in the meeting or after the fact?
Well, when you're live here, do you see at the bottom, you can see there's a little like 2 heads and underneath it says participants and the number 12. Right. If you click that, it's going to show you all of your people on the meeting.
Right. So
you have a physical view, but you've got people like Elsa who doesn't have her last name, Phil and Connie, like what's their last name? Like it's just clearly Connie, but
sorry. Sorry.
So actually,
I'm just picking on you, Connie. I'm sorry.
Hey, at least I remember to sign in even though I was late.
I don't know why I don't have a last name. Maybe I did. I'm supposed to type it someplace.
Well, you guys can always change your name once you're in here. If you go to the 3 dots in the corner of your video,
Yeah.
If you click the three dots next to your video, it will say rename, and you can rename yourself.
No, mine doesn't say that. Mine says chat, meetings, settings, and virtual
Your
background.
meeting settings.
Oh, and
Put your
But
pointer on
anyway,
the name.
what's that?
Put your pointer on the name, Elsa, and click.
I just,
And you can find rename there too.
because I don't have, I don't see anything.
You don't have your name on your picture?
Yeah, oh, you mean on my
Click
picture?
on that
Okay.
and you should
Yeah.
find rename.
Yeah, I'm clicking, but it's not coming up. No.
well,
Go back to where it showed the list of participants, and you can do it there. I just did it. I
Oh,
now have it. I now have a last name.
oh, okay.
Sorry.
as Elsa works to try to add her last name, back to Lynn's question. So it's hard to get a good sense, sometimes with, the fact that not everybody's name's completely accurate in the
Right.
meeting itself. If you go on the website and when you schedule the event through Zoom on the website, you can create a registration link, which is how you guys all first came into the tech time way back when. It will ask you to register and you put your name and email. And when you're a meeting host, I'll screen share this for if you guys ever decide to host a small group or something. If you open up your browser and go to zoom.us.com and you go to my account over here, and I am logged in as Westminster PC. So we have a general Westminster one for small groups. So let me sign out of that one. Let me sign into my Lynn George. Maybe, if it works. Come on. Okay for me. Go? No. Oh, it still hates me. Okay. There we go. L. George. Okay. And once you're logged into your account, go to your meetings. So we'll look at today's tech time. And I've created this registration link, which you guys all at one point registered for. And you can see right now there's 21 registrants. And we're going, whoever's getting a phone call, you can mute yourself. I'm trying to find you right now and I'm having trouble. What is that? There we go. Okay.
So popular, Lynn.
Okay, so if you go to registrants, you can see view, and this will show you all of the people who registered and their email addresses. So you can see them that way, but they have to register ahead of time.
Okay.
And the nice thing is you can do resend confirmations. So like the day of the event, if you think they've registered for like 2 weeks and you're really worried they've forgotten the invite code, you can resend confirmation email right there through the browser. So I'd recommend as a host doing a registration version. It's a little bit more of a hassle originally, but the web-based version of the Zoom meeting stuff gives you a lot more flexibility. When you add stuff, you can make it reoccurring, which you can't really do on the app. And you can do all kinds of different things like muting participants on entry and different things like that.
So before you leave this page, the other question I had, I've been having trouble getting it to hold my setting for putting people in a waiting room, and they always go to the waiting room.
Mm.
Now I found if I schedule a meeting and go in and edit that meeting, I can turn off, go to a waiting room, but I haven't been able to get it to keep that by default. Is that anything you've seen?
I have not played enough with it to see if you can change the defaults. I know under your account management, there's all kinds of account settings and things, so there might be a way in here. I'd have to play.
So when we come into your meetings, are we coming into a waiting room?
Yes, I have set it up as a reoccurring meeting, and every time I have it that the enable rooms waiting, because I don't know if you guys have heard, Zoom now requires you to either have a passcode or password. They've changed it from password to passcode because they think it's a little nicer language, or a waiting room. So you need one or the other. And because I don't want you guys to have to put in a password on top of the meeting ID, I always do the waiting room. But not everybody that's easy or necessary.
And then how easy is it when you're starting a meeting to get everybody out of the waiting rooms and into your meeting? Does that take a lot of time?
No, there's a big pop-up that goes, Sue Kelly is waiting, accept Sue Kelly, and there's a big blue button that says accept this person in the waiting room, or accept all if you go in and there's 5 people already registered or already in. When I came in this morning, there was a couple people already in the meeting, so I just had to hit the admit button. And I tend to turn the waiting room off once the meeting starts. After, I let the first, however many people in, once I'm in the meeting, then I will turn it off. And let me make you the host. I can show you when I make you the host.
So I'm on an iPad right now.
Bye. I'm leaving.
Oh,
I'll
bye,
see you next
Bye,
week.
Sue.
Bye, Sue.
Bye.
Bye, Sue.
Bye, Sue.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for your
Lynn?
questions.
I just made you a co-host, so now the Lyns are co-hosting this meeting.
Wow.
So if you open the participants tab now, you should see at the bottom, invite, mute all, and a more button. Is that true?
Well, I'm on an iPad, so I have
Oh.
invite, report, mute all, and ask to unmute. Or
Okay.
ask all to unmute.
Maybe you need to, maybe I need to make you host. But there should be a button that says enable waiting room or
Okay,
enable waiting room.
I can play with that.
Section there.
All right.
So, Carol, I love your name change.
And I'm just playing with mine on and off. I thought of leaving it Betty Ann because I don't like to be called Betty, but then I thought, oh well, I'll put the last name back.
I like that. And I joined your support group. I like that. Not a bit.
And then the other thing, can you explain it when you do the backgrounds? What does the green screen mean?
It means that you can fill in, you can add just a, so say you have a green screen behind you, so it fills in any picture. So it will go, oh, I can easily check that Lynn is this frame because she has a green screen behind her. If you don't have a green screen, I don't have a green screen. Most 95% of people don't have a green screen. I have one at the church office that I could bring home if I really wanted to. But it's an easier way to frame you out. So like people that, are professional business folks probably use them all the time.
Okay.
To throw in stuff, but for your purposes, probably not. But if you can, add virtual backgrounds, but and you can see I have the green screen on, and it's confused because it's going. I don't see Lynn but if I uncheck the green screen,
That's something if you don't clean your office. If you don't clean your office, can you use a green screen? And,
yes. or a virtual background. Like clearly I am not in San Francisco, but
You could wish.
yes, I wish I was in San Fran. It's a lovely.
Okay.
Where do you get those virtual backgrounds or green screens, or are they
So
part of Zoom?
yeah, so if you guys hit the little, do you see the mute and then stop video buttons on the left-hand side of your screens?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you see a little caret arrow above, right next to the stop video?
Yes.
No.
Wait, where is this?
At the bottom of your screen, there's the mute button, and then there's the stop video icon.
Yeah.
If you click the caret up button, you'll see choose virtual background or choose video filter.
Well, I don't have that.
Are you on an iPad?
I'm on an iPhone. I don't have it. I have an arrow that says share content.
Yeah, me
It
too.
says choose virtual background.
Yeah, click on that. You might have a different, maybe you can't do it on a iPhone. I'd have to research that.
Yeah, I know I can do it on my laptop, but I don't see the option here on my iPad. Karen's found it.
If you go to the
Yeah,
three
but Karen
dots,
left.
yeah, if you go to the three dots,
Karen,
one
have
of
the
one of
green
the
screen
choices is virtual background.
I don't have
Oh,
any
yeah.
backgrounds to
Yep.
choose from.
What?
I don't have any backgrounds to choose from.
You don't have defaults under the
It says
virtual background?
none.
That's what mine says.
Meeting
None.
scenes. So let's see.
Huh, it doesn't give you any options?
No.
I can add my own there where there's a little plus sign off to the side, but I
Yes,
can
and
add
then
it,
you can,
but I don't have a choice.
but you can share anything from your photos. One of the choices when you
True.
click that plus, it says share one of your photos. So you can take any of your photos and share it as a,
What does the plus do?
it gives you more options.
So, for example, so it sounds like some people, but maybe not everybody's Zoom account has some defaults. There's 4 defaults that came with mine: San Fran, Grass, Outer Space, and Paris. But then I've uploaded a couple over the years. I do a weekly Zoom dinner with some friends with little kids because they are going insane and need help babysitting. So I entertain their child over for an hour. And so I've got, Monsters Inc. to
Oh,
entertain
cute.
them, and I've got,
You are
Toy
sweet.
Story. So you
There we
can
go.
add stuff in like that. So if you want to play with kids, you can.
How
Or
do I get my
like
picture back?
this is
Lynn,
a-
if you look at my picture, I now have the choir as my background.
Ah,
nice.
Mhm.
Who did?
Lynn,
Yes.
my when I clicked on virtual background, it says your processor does not meet our recommended specification for virtual background.
Oh.
So I'm on an Apple Mac
Mm.
laptop. So is that? I'm
How
just
new.
maybe
My guess is, yeah, you probably have 4, maybe 8.
8.
8. Yeah.
So I need more stuff,
You
more
probably
bits
need
or
a
what?
little more. It takes a lot of processing power to run that constantly. Because
Okay.
it's always, when you move, it has to like redo it.
Got it. Okay.
So
We'll just deal with me in my kitchen. That'll work. Okay.
Sue or Kelly or Karen, Kelly.
Who are you?
Karen,
Pick a name, pick a name.
Karen,
There
do you
you
have the green screen on?
I can't get my picture back.
Karen actually in there?
She's hiding in the grass.
she's in the grass.
You see the forest from the trees.
Oh, boo.
You're
do I-
losing control.
How do I
Does it
just
say-
get my
Control of this
picture?
meeting.
Does it say I have the green screen on? Because that's when I went dark like that. And then when I unchecked that, that's when I got back.
Where do I find dark screen?
So go back to the virtual background section.
I'm on it.
You're
Selected.
looking out of the weeds now.
Okay. So under the pictures of the grass, do you have 2 buttons that says I have a green screen and then mirror my video?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Are they checked? Are either of them checked?
I'm not following you at all. I'm sorry.
You get the weed whacker.
You
We'll
look
find
like
Karen
you're,
somehow.
you look like you're in Southeast Asia or something. Walking out of the,
Should I be in the stop video and the carrot?
No, the three dots on the right. Try the three dots on the right.
Where are the three dots on the right again?
Well, two to the right of that green arrow. There should be three dots, which means more things to choose from, and one of them is background.
Not on mine, it isn't. I don't
I'm
have
not
that.
seeing any dots.
Oh, really?
No.
To the right
I
of
have-
participants.
Yeah, I have more, but choices are not, there's nothing to do with backgrounds. Chat, view full transcript, script, raise hand. So, oops, I raised my hand.
Yeah, right.
How do I get rid of it?
I think it just goes away in a few minutes.
Yeah, it does. It goes away.
Lynn, you're
Oh,
losing
Carol, you got it
control.
working.
Yay.
What?
I have a-
We lost Karen. Yes, Dan.
Okay, this is a security question. See if anyone has run into this. I get things in the mail I got it from Capital One. I've gotten it from another investment. I forget who it was. Anyhow, it says that they've been basically hacked or whatever by somebody, and that it's possible that some of my data has been gotten from somebody else. We don't know that there's a problem necessarily, but we just want you to know that. I got it from someone, Morgan Stanley. It said Morgan Stanley. I don't even remember doing that. Something with Morgan Stanley. Anyhow, I just don't get too concerned about it. What's the best way to handle that?
It's one of those, in my opinion, I'm like, well, that's good to know. And if I know I have accounts with that, I tend to go in and change my password because I don't trust. But it's, okay, this happened. They're forced by law to tell me. So the only thing I can do is change my password and hope that, nothing more happens of it.
How would you know if you were one of the unlucky ones that they did get? How would it manifest itself in terms of?
Well, there's a website called Have I Been Pawned? And it's, I'll send a link out. It's a website that will tell you put in your email addresses and it will tell you these are the sites that have been compromised for you or with your information that we're aware there are issues with. And then you can go and change your information for every single one of those websites if you wanted to. But there are other times where you're like, what are they going to do? I don't know. Are they going to just keep this information and like in 50 years come back and, do other stuff? And sometimes you're like, what do they have? Is it just my birth date information? Is it how much money I have? Is it my spouse's name or what? You don't know necessarily, and that they aren't going to tell you. So the only thing is to be reactive and change your security stuff. But, or join a lawsuit. There are always class actions lawsuits after these things you could join if you wanted. But there's not a whole lot you can do, unfortunately.
I won't worry about it that much.
I don't.
I have other issues. I'm not going to concern myself with Capital One.
Yeah. I'm such a small fish in comparison to the large companies that these people are going after, they don't care about, little old me. That's my opinion. Is it probably a naive opinion? Probably, but like,
Thank you. That's
I
helpful.
don't know. There's not a lot you can do. If you think about it, you can get into a really dark place if you really think long and hard about what could happen. Yeah.
Thank you.
Lynn, are we supposed to register every week, even though I know it's the same page?
You can if you want, but you don't need to. As long as you keep the same meeting information, you don't need to register again.
And when are you going on vacation?
I'll be away next week, so we won't have we won't have a meeting next week, and then we'll be back the last week of August. So
Have fun.
Were you in Chautauqua?
no,
No.
Chautauqua was closed. Chautauqua was closed. Everything's virtual, so yeah. My family was going to go away to an Airbnb for a few days, but then my dad hurt his back a few weeks ago and has been stuck on the couch ever since. He's in horrible pain. They think he did something with one of his discs. So he can't walk or do anything. My mom can hardly keep him on the couch. So I'm going to go and help her keep him on the couch. So it's not going to be a fun week. She's working full time and she's going out of her mind trying to keep him down and take him to his doctor's appointments because he's on oxy, so he can't drive. My grandmother's got doctor's appointment. It's not a good year for the George family. It's a good time for COVID to happen, that this happens now, and we can't really go anywhere or do anything. So
you're a caregiver.
Yes. Yes. So it won't be really vacation, but it'll be a few days off, which is needed.
Yeah, this 2020, I wish we could do Control Z.
I like that. That's a great joke. Yeah.
Maybe you talked about, did anyone get involved in the summit?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. Global leadership, yeah.
Oh, it was great.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch it, Dan?
No, I didn't, but I have in the past. It worked out okay doing it virtually then.
Yes, it was great.
And they made the transition from what used to be the Bill Hybels group to, they made that okay then.
Yeah.
Well,
Craig Garshnell does it now. Craig Garshnell. I don't think I'm saying his last name right. But I like him. He did a good talk about working through the dip, when unexpected things happen this year. So
his name's Craig Groeschel.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Is he involved in the church, the same church?
I think they've broken away from the church. They're no longer, they're affiliated with Willow Creek, but they're called the Global Leader Network now instead of, being solely through Willow.
I won't go on, but are there any names that you particularly were struck by that talks to you? Mm-hmm. Anything come to mind?
Karen, do you want to go? Or?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean this to be a test, but.
President Bush spoke, which I was like, oh, it's just going to be this like fluff, interview piece. But I thought that was in particularly really interesting.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, I was not expecting a whole lot from that. And I was pleasantly, and maybe it's because I'm so used, we've been, 4 years of a president that can't talk. So maybe that's like.
I liked Paula Ferris.
What are you really saying, Lynn?
Who, Karen?
Paula Ferris.
Oh yeah, she was good too.
It was excellent. She was used to be on Good Morning America and The View. She was great. She's, you know, she talked about giving up her 2 dream jobs to do something else, and she was marvelous.
Karen, do you remember the name of the lady who talked about hand gestures and facial? What was her name? Do you remember?
Oh,
I really liked her.
yes. I have my notes.
Do you think I could get online and get any of those?
They are up for a week, which ends out this week. I don't know if you can get it.
Like, I like to hear President Bush talk.
That was a one-time thing. You had to see it live because they weren't going to keep it archived.
Oh,
That is the one on demand that they wouldn't
Yeah.
replay, and you weren't allowed to take pictures or record it. They did the
wow.
whole thing ahead of time. They're like, this is just for the summit. You know, this is private. We aren't publicizing this. They announced it a week or 2 before the summit that he was speaking. You know, it was a last minute thing, which was unfortunate because my mom did the summit and that's the one thing she missed. So, and she's like, oh, I was going to rewatch it, and then she couldn't.
Is the woman that you were asking me about, was that Vanessa Van Edwards?
Oh yeah, it was her. Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I loved the interview that fella did with the kids.
Oh yes.
Ah, that was fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah, so Dan, you could search online if you wanted to see if they are doing it. Like after the fact, you can usually buy DVD copies and watch them afterwards. And sometimes our church does that, but I don't know when we would open our library again for you to get those if we do order them. So
Are you the contact of the church that would know about this if we had it? Are you the person, or Barb?
to have the DVDs or
if have access to it in any way?
That would be Diane McFalls.
mm-hmm. Do you own Diane McFalls, or do you want me to throw her contact info?
There's a whole group I call a smile and nod people that I smile and nod at, but I don't see them. I don't get out so much, so I don't see them as much. I know the name and so on.
Okay. I'll throw the contact info in our recap email. Could reach out to.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fellow's name who did the interview of the children was Matt Lundgren.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you have your stuff right there.
You know pretty much everything.
Well, I took a lot of notes. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
Lynn, you're doing a good job.
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is a wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much.
Of course. I wish I knew all the answers that you guys ask.
You certainly know enough to confuse me, so you're doing a good job.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yes. It's good to see you all. I know it's 11 o'clock, so I don't want to hold you up if you have other things to go off to. But I'll see you guys in 2 weeks, okay?
Enjoy your
All right.
vacation.
Enjoy your vacation.
I'm gonna go.
Bye-bye.
I got a pretty rigid schedule, so I'm gonna.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, bless you.
Karen, it's nice you got out of the weeds.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, I'm going to remove you, Dan.
I'm